Hey everyone, today we're going to review the PEER VIII app for both the iPhone and iPad. Now for those of you that are not familiar with the PEER VIII series, this is a set of questions. It's kind of like the gold standard for doing questions in preparation for the emergency medicine residency in-service, as well as the board examination. Typically comes in a large printed textbook, now available online. And now today we're going to be looking at the app specifically. Now the app's available for $69 on the App Store, which is a pretty steep price, but if you think about it in comparison to the PEER app product itself, which goes on sale for $275 for the printed version, it is a little bit of a steal. Now, just in general, the PEER VIII app for iPad and iPhone has all 450 questions that the online and print version has the same kind of images that are available in there as well. Some of the big differences, though, between the print and online version is that with the print and online versions, if you're interested, you can get CME credits for your time spent doing PEER VIII. Also on the online version, you also get questions from PEER VII as well, an extra 400 questions for that $275 price. Now, one thing to point out about the iPhone, iPad version is that it's designed primarily for iPhone. So when you view it on the iPad, it will have that smaller format there, and we're hoping that there will be a dedicated iPad version of the PEER VIII app, but for right now, it's only the iPhone format. And naturally, like anything that is online, the PEER VIII online version for $275 is also viewable on your iPad or iPhone directly as long as you have an internet connection. The PEER VIII app, of course, works without internet connection, so you can access it that way as well. So let's actually go ahead and take a peek into what the app has. You see the little sections here about PEER VIII self-assessment, study and practice by category, post-tests, evaluations, references, etc. So why don't we go ahead and look at some of these self-assessment pre-tests, and we can start a whole new pre-test. It's a 90-question pre-test, as you can see here. It gives you a little case, very similar to the same format as the PEER VIII. And again, these are the same 450 questions that we had from before. The pretest only has 90 of them, however. When you click on question down below, you get a list of the question as well as the answer responses. And when you choose your correct answer, we'll just pick this one. It tells you if it's correct or incorrect. You go ahead and hit submit, and it tells you whether you're right or wrong. On the far right side, if you have an internet connection, it'll give you a rough idea for how many other people had chosen that answer choice. If you would have chosen choice C, chest radiography, in your analysis, you would have been right along with 64% of the people using the PEER question. Now, probably the biggest difference that I found between the mobile version and the textbook and online version is that the references and explanation are actually rather brief. It gives you enough information here to make a meaningful exercise out of getting the question wrong and learning a little bit more, and it gives you reference material of where to look for further information, but this is very different than compared to the online version or the text version, where the explanations can sometimes be up to 1 page in length and really give you a detailed explanation of why the other answer choices are incorrect. So when you're on the go, I think this is pretty reasonable for what you have on here, but if you wanted to make PEER VIII for your iPhone your only question study guide, I think you might be selling yourself a little bit short, even though the price is pretty good. A couple other features, let's kind of go through and see if we can find a question that has some images. Let's go ahead and pick cutaneous disorders. Here we go, figure. When you look at the figure, you can zoom in on the figure and get a little bit more detail, and this allows you to get a closer look at whatever lesions they are referring to within the question stem. Question. Again, we'll pick a random answer here. Again, we're wrong. 11, 27%. So we were sort of in that 24% that chose incorrectly. And again, it gives you references and explanations here. The one area that I wish was possible with the PEER VIII is a way to flag questions. Again, when you go through the print version, it's nice to go back and look at questions that you have missed or you need to look up further information. Right now with the PEER VIII version, there's not a good way to do that. Now, if you wanted to go through each different category, you can go down to study and practice by category and then choose each one of these subsections here and go through those in their entirety. If you wanted to, other core competencies, we'll pick those. You can see the number of questions for each subsection that you have right here. And again, this includes the 450 questions total. So that is it. That covers the PEER VIII application. Again, the biggest thing is you have the same 450 questions as you do in the print and online version. The big differences are that the explanations are significantly shorter within the PEER VIII app. Currently, right now, it's only sized for iPhone and iPod. So if you're viewing it on an iPad, it will be in that smaller format, and you have to double this image using the 2x function. And the other big thing is that it's lacking a way to mark questions to go back for a later review. That would be a very helpful bonus if that was around there. But for $70, it's not a bad deal compared to the $275 of the print and online version. My only caution is that if you were to use this as your primary study tool, you might be missing out on some really good information in the explanations that PEER VIII print and online has. And that's it. Thanks a lot for your time. Goodbye.